through the app, through phone calls. It's another place where you can call and actually talk to a human being, and they will help you out immediately. It's been a pleasure to deal with Tony.
Hey, Minnesota sports fans. This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Hoaglund. I need you all to ask yourselves this question. If you're in an at-fault car accident and you are sued for $700,000, how much of that $700,000 will my current insurance company pay? If you are unsure or can't answer all $700,000, you need to give us a call. State Farm has been number one in car insurance since World War II and number one in homeowners insurance since 1964. For a no-obligation review of your current policies, call us at 763-421-4900 or check out our website at www.champlininsurance.com.
So I've been told that Barrios they've been working with him on kind of a two-seamer. They wanted him to spin his fastball a little bit more, get a little more movement on his fastball. And I understand what they're trying to accomplish, Roy. Here's what worries me. So often when I see a good big league pitcher, I see separation in velocity between the fastball, the breaking pitch, and the changeup. And I'm afraid that Barrios throwing two-seamers means there's less separation between his fastball and his breaking pitch. And to me, that makes him easier to hit. But you're the expert. What do you think?
So the way I feel about two-seam fastballs, or sinkers, or the ball making the ball run, is that they are really good on the corners, on the inside corner to right-handers, the outside corner to left-handers, anywhere down at the knees, that where then the movement takes it below the strike zone. So if the ball comes in looking like a strike and then goes away from the strike zone, that's really good. That's hard to hit. The problem is that's not easy to throw it like that all the time. And the sinkers are, by definition, 90, 91, 92 miles an hour. And if you throw the ball in the middle of the zone, which Jose is prone to do, he's got great control. He's used to throwing the ball around the heart of the zone and getting away with it because he's had such good stuff, for so long at other levels before here. And he just throws a lot of strikes. And if you're throwing a lot of strikes with your sinker with 91 or 92, those things are going to get hit. And that's why I don't like it as much. Now, there's some extenuating circumstances. They're working on some mechanics things with him as well, and he hasn't been, I like the four-seam fastball. He still can throw that 94 and 95. To your point, I like that way better to go with his what's a very good developing changeup. So you see, Lucas Giolito on Wednesday afternoon just absolutely dominated that great Twins offense by throwing 95, 96 mile an hour high fastballs and changeups. And the changeups weren't even particularly great location. They were just great speed differential, speed spread. So 96 to 81, right? And the Twins just couldn't quite figure it out. And I think the fastball changeup combo duo is the best two pitches in combo that there can be against big league hitters. And then he's got that wipeout curveball that he can throw as well. So I'm in favor of impressing the hitters with fastballs, inside, outside, high, all around the strike zone, throw it hard, and then set up this other stuff. And for me, the sinker just doesn't, the two-seamer just doesn't do that as much and settles into that 7 inches of big end on the barrel of the opposing hitters a little bit too easily. The other extenuating circumstance, though, as I said, they're working on his mechanics because he doesn't have great command with the four-seam fastball. Well, that's a problem. So he's got to get that back. And in the meantime, while he is trying to get that back, they wanted to spin the ball a little bit with the two-seamer, and I'm okay with that. You can't, he's been walking more guys than usual, and it's because he hasn't been able to throw the four-seamer as with control, with enough command. And so you can't do that either. You can't put guys on via the walk. So they say, okay, well here, throw the two-seamer. He seems to have better strike control with that. So control of the strike zone, but not so much control in the strike zone, meaning he can't throw, he can't throw it on the corners as well as he needs to if he's going to be that kind of pitcher. So there's a lot of stuff in that soup, right? I mean, I've just been through a soliloquy about pitching and Barrios and 95-mile-an-hour fastballs and 92 and all that stuff. But that's where they are. They're trying to get him to have better command with the four-seam fastball, and in the meantime, be able to throw strikes with some kind of fastball to set up the other stuff. So that's kind of where they are right now. It's a bit of an adjustment in progress right now.
Right. I want to talk about Sano and Twitter and Twins fans. Let's first thank Bite Squad, bitesquad.com. Promo code TALKNORTH gets your first delivery fee waived. Just keep using them after that. They're everywhere now. It's a growing company. They just deliver really good restaurant food right to your doorstep. It's ready to eat. No dishes, no fuss, no muss, no traffic, no parking, no reservations, nothing else. Bitesquad.com, Bite Squad, the app. Okay, so Roy, I got into a typical Twitter tiff the other day, and
you did. I noticed
yes,
that. I was proud of you.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. And because I've been having this conversation all season, and this conversation is just me and other writers. It's me and players. It's me and former players. It's me and the front office. It's me and Twins PR. It's me and Twins fans that I know. It's me and other writers that cover the team and broadcasters who cover the other team. And I think you've noticed the same thing. The better the Twins are, the more consternation there is among the perceived fan base. Now, obviously, there are a lot of Twins fans out there who just like going to the games and like when they win, and they don't rant and rave all the time. But we're talking about what we notice from people we interact with, whether it's social media or in real life. And there seems to have been some real misery around this team, even though they're way better than they were supposed to be. They've been one of the best teams in baseball, been one of the most fun teams to cover, one of the most fun teams to watch. They're playing a great ballpark. There are all these great things, and all you hear is complaining. So the other day, Sano, I've also been told, let me start at the beginning here. 2 years ago, I walked into the Twins clubhouse, right? Been covering the team since 93. I know a lot of people around the team. It's part of the job. I walk in, and somebody that you and I both know very well, big name in Twins history, comes up to me and says, man, I'm worried about Sano. The organization's worried about Sano. He's like about 25 pounds overweight. He's sluggish. He doesn't look like he's ready to play day games, da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, I'm a reporter, so I take that and I go talk to somebody behind the scenes in the Twins organization, and that person says, yep, that's all true. We're worried about the guy. And I go talk to Paul Molitor. He doesn't want to comment, right? Sometimes no comment means, yeah, you're right, I just don't want to contribute to it. Then I go talk to somebody in the front office who said, well, man, we wish you wouldn't write that, but it's true. So I write it. I had like 3 sources, and I gave them their chance to shoot down the idea. I write it, and I get blamed for fat-shaming Miguel Sano. I guess technically that's true. I mean, I was pointing out that he's 25, 30 pounds overweight. If you want to call that fat-shaming, guilty. But the point of the piece was, here's this great talent who doesn't look like he's working at it. Now, 2 years later, I've been told by a lot of the same people, man, he's the guy who wants to work extra early. He's taken Nelson Cruz's leadership and said, yep, this is the guy I want to be. He's working extra. He's in baseball shape. He cares. He's been a good teammate. So he goes out to the field on Monday afternoon, early Monday afternoon, really hot day, coming back from a road trip, I believe. And he didn't really have to be there. He wanted to be out there. He's doing extra work. I tweet this out, and I get like dozens of negative responses or shots at Sano. And I'm like, this is crazy, So now 2 years ago I was a bad guy for pointing out that Sano had problems, and now I'm a bad guy for pointing out that Sano has actually become a very good worker. It's kind of
now
driving
you're
me crazy.
A bad guy now you're a bad guy for pointing out that Miguel Sano is not as good as he should be somehow. I mean, or giving fans an opportunity to say he's not good enough. It's really too bad if you look at his at just what he's accomplished. It's from the middle of the season on, and what his numbers are. You'd have to say he's making a gigantic contribution to this club, and it's not good enough for a lot of people, and that's really too bad. And someday it might be close to good enough. But back in the day, there was the same kind of people that said the same kinds of things about Harmon Killebrew too. So I mean, it just ultimately it just kind of goes with the territory of being a player, and some guys become more magnet for that kind of stuff than others.
Yeah, and listen, he had a terrible start to this season. Now, I gave him a break because he missed spring training. He was dealing with an injury, and he worked really hard this winter. But all you have to do, really, is just look at the numbers the last 2 months. He's performed like an MVP candidate the last 2 months. And I think that should be reflected in the record. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think there's extra willingness to be down on him, and I think that's too bad. I mean, I've been as frustrated as anybody in the talent that I see that I don't believe is being fully realized because of approach at the plate. Okay, but A, he is working really hard to change his mechanics in that direction, and B, the rest of the approach, if he ever gets it, will be the next step. But you got to give the guy a heck of a lot of credit, and I don't think that you can be down on a guy because you see great talent and because he's been expected to be great, and he hasn't done that. He hasn't lived up to the expectations that people put in their minds. Although he's living up to what is standard that I think his manager would like to see. So that there you go.
Yeah, and to shorten out everything I just said, what was true then doesn't necessarily mean it's true now. He's changed, and we should reflect that in the way we look at him. All right, let's move on from that. Last couple notes. Baseball seasons are made up of a million little moments. I want to pick on two. One, the pitch Kyle Gibson, and one's negative, one's positive. The negative, Kyle Gibson's pitch to Abreu on Monday night. I thought, what the heck are you doing? You're facing their best hitter, the one guy who he can beat you. Two guys on, base open, and you throw just a meatball down the middle. I have trouble fathoming that pitch, Roy.
Yeah, it was inexplicable, really, and I don't. You may have or may not have been listening to the broadcast, but I was in the booth with Dick Bramer, and I said, kind of matter of factly, because I was just sure this is the way it would go about it. First base open.
Yep.
And a guy hitting 273 with 26 home runs is up, and there's a guy hitting 274 behind him that has 0 home runs. So maybe there's an equal chance for some kind of hit, but there is a great chance for a game-changing home run with first base open. There is no chance of a home run if you with the next guy. So you just pitch around him. You don't walk him intentionally, but you can throw him hard in, see if he'll break his, he'll get anxious and break his bat. You throw him the breaking balls away, see if he'll get himself out that way. Throw him high fastball, see if he'll chase. You do a whole bunch of things that are possible, but you don't let him beat you. You just walk him. And I just, and I didn't make it nearly that emphatic because I just felt
it was
like,
obvious.
Well, clearly that's what's going to happen.
Right.
And the next pitch is belt high down the middle. It went 442 feet, and it was basically the ball game. And that was really too bad. And I can't explain it. I haven't talked with anybody about that. I don't know if Kyle shook off to throw a fastball, or if he was trying to throw it real high and just left it over the plate, or if that thought of walking it, it kind of intentionally walking him wasn't in his mind. I don't have any idea. All I know is that a 93-mile-an-hour fastball belt high to Abreu in that situation is generally not going to end well.
Let's wrap up the show with maybe one of my favorite moments of the season, and there have been a lot of them. It's been a blast. Thanks again to Barry Coffey, BiteSquad.com, Tony Hoaglund, Hoaglund, and our producer, Brandon Morton. The other night, Tuesday night, Nelson Cruz, first Twin with 4 extra base hits in a game since Kadire in 2005, and one of them just jumped out at me, Roy. Guy throws a fastball maybe a foot in off the plate. Cruz, at his age and with his wrist, is quick enough to get the bat head around and yank it, and somehow mature enough a hitter or talented enough or whatever else to keep that ball fair. Explain how hard it is